Alright guys, welcome back to King Creek Ranch, and today we're finally getting started on the solar panel project videos. Now, you watched the video probably of us treating our Amish lumber that we got. It was just regular white pine wood, trying to save a little bit of money there and, go the traditional route possibly with building some of this. And so now we're going to start working on the structure here where solar panels are going to be covering all of this. Now we have our posts down here on the ground, and we have this one put in already right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and start augering out some more holes for these posts with the old Ford tractor. Then I'm going to go ahead and get these posts in the ground leveled up. If I have enough daylight, gonna go ahead and get some 2x4 structure on there to hold them all together. If not, I may have to wait for another day. But we got a break in the weather, so the ground's not frozen. So let's get to it. Now for the solar structure we're doing, these posts don't have to be perfect because we're actually gonna have quite a bit of overhang here. The panels are kind of gonna follow the roof line and come right down. So all these posts are really gonna be hidden, but we'll try and make them perfect. Let's get some dirt piled in here. There we go. So you want to get a little bit of dirt in there to get started, to hold your post up, especially when you're working by yourself. Now you could take 2x4s, screw them to here, run a stake to the ground, all that stuff, especially when you're doing concrete work. But we're not going to get that picky with it. These are going to be cut off fairly low anyway. We're just going to do the best we can. It's cheap level. Nothing special here, folks. So here we go. Now you want to go a little bit at a time. Get that dirt really packed down in there. Especially when you're not doing any concrete. We're not doing concrete because, one, it's a few bucks cheaper. Not that much, honestly. But our posts are plenty long to go plenty deep. Our dirt here is really like clay. So when I'm doing this here, it is just getting super solid down in there. It just really doesn't need to be concrete for this type of job, The gates aren't hanging on this, nothing like that, where all the weight's on one side of the post. That's fairly close. Just a little nudge. Little nudge there. Get a little more dirt. Pack that in. Yeah, today's the first nice day of weather we've actually had in a while. It's been below freezing every single night, and honestly for the past week or two it's been below freezing as a high almost every day. So we tried the other day to auger out these holes, but we had only about 4 or 5 inches of the permafrost. That auger did not like it. It actually broke, so we had to fix it. So we wasted, 3 hours because we were trying to rush the weather to get this done. It's just annoying when you're filling up generators all the time with gasoline to feed the campers, not let batteries go dead, freeze, and bust, and to feed our diesel heaters, and we're just ready for some solar, And I'm sure a lot of you are watching this video and will be watching the next few videos and wonder, why in the world are they putting in solar when you can literally see power lines in the background with other houses with normal electricity? Well, there's a few reasons for that. First one is, one, for me personally, been a bucket list item for years to have my home be fully solar. Now, I'm not a save the world tree hugger kind of guy, but I'm more of a self-sufficient, spend more now to save a lot more in years to come type of deal. And where we live here, the house I used to have, it was a real house and everything. It was nice, not in a camper. I lost power multiple times throughout the year, and I went through a 14-day stretch with no electricity, which was terrible because I was not prepared. I had no generator in the beginning of that until I found someone I could borrow for 14 days, or probably 8 of those 14 days. I had extension cords running through the whole house. The generator wasn't big enough to run it like the fridge, so all my food wouldn't go bad with the heaters, and I was still working every day, and it's like over an hour round trip where I used to work, drive, and the generator would die during the day when I was gone. First thing, it's just one of the mandatory things, you just had to do it. Otherwise, you'd freeze. Wasn't good. So, really, ever since then, that really pushed me to keep an eye out, keep looking, keep studying this solar stuff. Because it's for real. It's a pretty big deal. Now, it is expensive. It's real expensive. So, I'll give you some tricks on that, probably, when I do this next post. You gotta always wave to your brother, very ridiculous like. Alright folks, typically when you're doing posts like this, you run a string on that one towards the bottom and top if you want both to help you get it level, and you run it to that one, so then you have a perfectly straight line. When you're augering these out, you can set them in there. Typically you have a few people helping you. It goes real fast. We don't have that today, so I'm going to use my 2x4 here. I'm going to measure this out so I get some even spacing. I want to just put 2 more of these posts here in the middle. We'll have 2 extras here, and then basically I'm going to use this as my marker, set it down so when I'm on the tractor I don't have to get on and off 100 times to get it exactly where I need it to be. So these 2 posts are roughly 21 feet apart, and if I want even spacing, I probably need 7, 14, 21. That's if 7 feet on center roughly. If I wanted 3, yeah, it does need to be 7 feet. I was right the first time. Needs to be about 7 feet between each one. So, boom, right there, 7 feet on center. Not that it really matters, but that's what we're going to do today. Here we go. Here we go. Right about there. Now, let's measure these baby dolls out. And 7 feet. There you go, folks. Take that for thought. Take that for thought. Just trust your instinct on the very first measurement. Don't second guess yourself. Don't think about it, just do it. Looks good. Start up our old trusty Ford tractor. 1920 series, all original. Never been painted on, believe it or not. 3 out of 4 original tires. And I think it's a 1990 model. Something like that. Now we're just gonna get squared right up here. that'll work. Close enough for me. Get this PTO engaged. There we go. RPMs are down. And we're gonna dig. I'm gonna go nice and slow through this gravelly spot. Yeah, it's doing about 1,000,000 times better today. Sometimes you gotta step on it. Gotta make sure we get as much as we can. That's probably bottomed out for the tractor. So that's what it looks like when I'm done. All right, here guys, I can't find that construction twine anywhere, but I did find some actual twine that was left over from this old cattle barn that we found. I'm sure it's covered in, this is not dirt, I'm sure it's all the poo, animal poo, but that's just fine. So none of this really looks like it's long enough to reach the full 20 some feet, so I'm gonna just tie some together, tie it around these posts, so then I can get a straight line. Now you don't really have to do this, you don't really have to do this twine trick or string line trick, but it's honestly pretty well how the pros do it. There's a reason why they do it. It's faster, it's easier, saves you a lot of time. Now they don't quite use this. Contractor string is a lot nicer than this, trust me. But it'll work. Now ideally you want to tie both ends about the same height above the ground. You know, just be on the safe side. The more things you can have consistent, the better. Oh yeah, I got plenty tied on here. Whoops, I tied almost double. That's okay. We will just go ahead, do a nice little loop-de-loop here. Now this string does need to be tight. I will, got a few feet extra, no big deal. Holy cow, I can't believe how good that worked. I impress myself sometimes. Check this out. Okay, so you tie string here, string down there on your outside posts. So that's running right over our holes ideally. So then when I put our post in each one of those holes, you're just gonna line up this face with the string and you're good to go. You know, still check for level, but then you know they're all in line. I always pack it a little bit right where that post is sitting. Don't necessarily have to, but old habits die hard, you know. See, it's gonna be hard for you to see over there, but it's level, and I have about 2.5 inches. So, I should have checked that first. So I need to knock over the bottom of that post a little bit. Like that. To bring it closer to that line. I will definitely be doing that on the next one. That's pretty close now. I'm happy with that. So where was I with the solar panels? You know, yeah, not a big tree hugger guy, just like being self-sufficient with everything. That's what this whole YouTube video channel is gonna be for. It's just, you know, living off the land, self-sufficiency. I'm the farthest thing from a cook or an animal expert or the proper way to clean animals, you know, so then you can eat them. Not expert there. that's where Colin comes in. His big part of the channel is that he knows how, or he is at least knowledgeable in that field of things, where I am more knowledgeable in the electrical stuff of the solar panels and windmills and all that good stuff, and a little bit with what animals need to survive, but not good at cooking. Hence why he has his cooking show, No Kitchen Cooking, here on YouTube. Yeah, if you're into cooking, you should probably check it out. His cooking methods are pretty unique, unconventional, and it's honestly a lot of fun to film that. He's actually out there today picking up. The reason why he's not here helping with this video is because he's out picking up some ingredients to do a pretty big cooking thing. We're releasing a lot of videos here in March coming up, which is just a few weeks away by the time you're seeing this video. And we are going to be showing you how to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner every single day in March. So that is 93 videos we will have filmed. Pretty big deal. We're not sure if it's actually ever been done before. Now there's plenty of people out there that do the whole vlog thing. Vlog every day, post every day, but you know, we don't want to be too boring. For us, that's a little bit boring. Yeah, we've never posted 93 videos in 1 month. And that's just on the one channel. That's not including this channel or the few others we try to do also. They're all just small channels right now, but it's pretty interesting. Takes a lot of time to be able to edit that many videos. Just one video in general takes a lot of time to edit, you know? That's what's interesting about the whole YouTube thing. Like, we're not making any money from this right now, you know? Like, your subscription is greatly appreciated, but it's really not how you make money on YouTube. It's nice if you do like anything we do here, the projects are watching, and a lot of stuff to come, trust me, because it's basically our way of life, which is unconventional, to say the least. Hit that bell. That'll actually have YouTube tell you when we post a video, and then you can kind of stay up to date here at the ranch on everything that's going on. I know here the last few years I've actually watched quite a few ranch style videos because it was always something I just wanted to do myself, but you know, at the time with my job and my life, I couldn't quite pull it off, you know. But eventually you just got to throw everything to the ground and say that this is what I'm going to do. It's the route I'm going to go, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. So that's kind of where we're at. So like I said, if you would, you know, hit that bell. The more people we can have, you know, watch our videos, at least fairly soon when they come out, the better. And, you know, watch them all the way through. If there's anything we're doing, which I'm sure there is, that's there's a better way to do it, or you have really good ideas for rain collection systems, because that's going to be one of the big ones next, is that let us know down in the comments. We see all of them. We'll try to respond to as many as we can, even if they're a few months old. That don't bother us. But as of right now, we're more concerned about the electricity side. And then we're gonna be getting some farm animals here in about a month. And also, we're gonna be planting quite a few trees. So it's gonna be interesting. We got big things planned for later this year too, I can't really talk about right now. I think our 1 year review of this place from ownership is gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah, hopefully if it all works out, hopefully we don't have to get normal jobs again. We got a little bit of money saved up, but really not much. I'm not exaggerating here. Like, just enough money to keep us fed and do some of these cheaper projects. These solar panels and stuff I've already had. I've had all them just waiting on a project. And that reminds me, so here's a few tips for you. If you do plan on doing a solar array yourself or anything like that, I have been looking into this for years, okay? So, not saying I'm an expert by no means, but I've been looking at this stuff for at least 10 years, and technology has came a long way. But there's one big thing I noticed that would save you more money than anything else, and I was finally able to do it, is that these solar panels, they're made to last at least 25 years. So, yeah, sure, you can get a dud solar panel. It may last 6 months or, a couple years. Something happens, lightning strikes it, and it fries. Okay, life happens. But there are large commercial and sometimes residential places that have solar panels right now, but they get bought out by someone else and they don't want solar panels. So what do? They take them down and then they sell them, typically on eBay, is where you can find the companies that are selling used solar panels from projects. These guys get hired to move in these commercial properties, prep them for resale. So they sell off all the solar panels they tear down because it's good money for them on the back end. And for us, it's great because you're only paying a third of what that solar panel costs new. So yeah, solar panel might be a year or two old, maybe even up to 5 years old. But when they're made to last at least 25 years, and at 25 years, they're still putting out 80% max capacity, that's pretty good. You've really gotten your money's worth. Because if you do it right, the solar system should be paid off with the money you've saved in just, for me personally, max of 5 years. Max of 5 years, otherwise you're not building something right or sourcing cheap enough electrical components. Because you never know, 5 years is quite a while, you might sell your home. You might move somewhere else and then you've missed out on all that savings. So, or if something does go wrong with an electrical panel or the inverter or something like that, then you'll have to pay for that, and that's going to set you back on your original 5-year time period. So, I don't know, just a few thoughts of mine. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you have solar panels right now? How big's your array that you're running? I find it pretty interesting to see people's take. I'm considering doing a windmill sometime. I'd really like to do that. If you have a windmill, definitely throw down in the comments what your thoughts are. Any tips or tricks? I mean, there's a ton of Chinese wind turbines out there. A lot of them in the low 400 or 500 watt range, and then you see some in the 1200 to 2000 watt range. And as of right now, I just don't know what's good. I'm definitely a believer in you get what you paid for, but on the same token, you don't always have to spend $3,000 to get something decent, especially when it's just gonna help boost the batteries we have that the panels will be feeding. But sometimes we get some decent storms here in the spring especially, and for the first half of the year, we could harvest a lot of that wind energy throughout the night, or even on cloudy days that our panels won't be able to do for us. So that's why I'm pretty interested in all that. Perfect. How are we doing over here? Not perfect. Not perfect. The sun is setting Here on the last day of January, folks. The last day, we got 4 posts up. Look at that, they're all in line, just beautifully. So, to give you an idea of what's gonna happen here, is the solar panels are gonna hook in up there, right below the gutters. It's gonna come down about like this, and it's gonna extend almost to the back tire on the tractor. It's going to be coming down pretty far, but I want to get these close to the middle, and then this is going to make for some nice parking, maybe for a car or two, get them out of the weather. All right there, guys, that's going to be all there is for this video today. We got the posts in the ground over here, so that makes me really happy. We are a giant step closer to be able to have some electricity. Super looking forward to that. You got any ideas on solar arrays, windmills, or water collection systems? Definitely hit us up, because that is kind of our next big main goals that we want to get done, hopefully here in the next month or two. And we're basically looking forward on this water collection system to be able to water all of the animals, the trees. You know, we want to have a garden out here to have some fresh food. So gonna take a lot of water for that. Thanks again for watching. Please hit the bell, and we'll see you next time.